Thank you for coming to my lecture, The JavaScript Time Machine, Past, Present, to Infinity and Beyond. I will try to talk a little bit how we build the tools in the past in Node.js and also how we're building it today. And I hope maybe we'll learn a little bit how we will build it in the future. But before we dive into the lecture, I would like to ask you, who has compiled or his code or bundled his code or her code the last week? Please raise his hand. Right? Like all front-end developers, also Node.js developers, when we run our command npm run, it look really simple. And sometimes we forget that behind this simple task, there is something a lot of deeper and bigger behind this simple command. I'm talking about the build tools that were built and are present since the beginning of Node.js and also till now. Because we forgot even what the code that we're writing in our local machine is not exactly the same code is going to be built, will be deployed on production. Sometimes we build code with TypeScript, JS6, or it doesn't matter the language that you're using. In the end, the browser or the Node.js can run this code like this. We need to bundle it and compile it. Hi, my name is Omer. I'm a staff front-end engineer at Bizabo. I'm born and raised in Guatemala, currently living in Israel. So if you hear a little bit accent, it's not an Israeli accent. It's a Latin accent, so sorry for that. So I hope you all talk a little bit slowly and try to pronounce the complicated words properly. I've been in Israel for a few years, a lot of years actually, and I've been working with build tools for web developers and also for Node.js developers. So I saw how all these tools have been changing and evolving, and how all these tools are changing the way we developers develop our applications today. But before we dive into the past, present, and whatever, I want to invite you to go with me to the past. How all these tools started since the beginning of time, for the time of the dinosaurs. I like to call this the vanilla way. If you remember, when you develop I know this is a conference of Node.js, but if you remember how you develop web application in the past, you write your cool and exciting application, and in the end, the only thing you have to do was to add a script tag in your HTML. You save it, you deploy it to production, and you're ready to go. But remember, also in the past, there was jQuery, the evil jQuery. In the past, we thought this is amazing. We want to add it into our new application. So what we did, we go to the website of jQuery, download the asset, actually the library, copy on our folder, add a new tag, and deploy. We are ready to production. But if you think for a minute, if you want to do this for more and even our own code, we have to do this and repeat this action over and over again. We have to go to the website, download the application, copy, add a new tag, and deploy. Like you can imagine, sometimes we can even finish with a long HTML file with a lot of script tags. So it's really not really friendly and not really nice to have it like this. What was good for us in the year 2009 was the rise of Node.js. So this bring with it, when Node.js in this year was deployed and bring to the community, bring it also with it the NPM first version. So for us, the start to having this NPM in the cloud was really nice because we can share and install dependencies. So it was more easier to install dependencies and also control their versions. But if you think that for all the web development, all the issues were solved, we're kind of wrong. Because we have to remember the JavaScript modules that were published in NPM in the time and also now, they use syntax like module export and require. And we have to remember that at the time, this kind of syntax was not supported in the browser. So we still have a lack of functionality they want to bring from the NPM registry to our modules in the web. Also good for us that in this time start to popping around a lot of tools. I like to divide them into 4 parts. One of them, I call them the task runners, script loaders, package manager loaders, and the bundles. I will go a little bit shortly all of them and talk about how we use them, how we are using it now, and maybe how we will use them in the future. We will start with this package manager. Package manager is the one that we already know, because even when we install Node.js, we get by default the NPM. Even if we don't like it, we don't need it, we will still use it. We will still get it. Also in the beginning, Yarn started having so many issues, so Yarn was born. And Yarn started to try to fix some issues that NPM had. PNPM also was born, and until today it's been used. PNPM, in a nutshell, it will try to solve how you can install your dependency only once. Having like a kind of symbolic link in your computer instead of installing, for example, you still want to use jQuery again, you will have to download it and install it several times. You will have to install it only once, and we'll have a simple link. Bower was the first package manager for the web. It was trying to help for web developers the dependency help and also the dependency managed for version. Before we continue, I will ask you, who knows what is Bower? A few. Who is still using Bower in his project or in his free time? Nobody? So again, I'm guessing in the community, so somebody knows if somebody's using Bower in the community in the front-end developer? Like nobody's using it, right? This is what I thought also, but you will be surprised. Since the beginning in 2021, the project Bower distributed $100,000 to these only 2 main containers, meaning they are getting money, a lot of money from sponsors, and they are distributing to them. Also, according to NPM, they have 1 million downloads per month. So it means they have a lot of downloads and a lot of activities. If you will ask me why, we can talk later because there's a long and funny story what is happening. But for me, I thought this project was dead. Very long time ago, we used something we call script loaders. I don't know if somebody's using, so I'll go a little bit for it. We have something was called Require.js and also JSPM. Require.js was very popular at the time. Also, we will provide you something to load a AMD, asynchronous module definition. You will get a callback, and in the end, you will try to load your code, and you're ready to work. We have also in the time JSPM. They will give you and provide you like a module CDN, try to fix this CDN manager and also package manager. Now, these 2 projects look only like a curiosity, and they are not used anymore in the community. After the script loader, we had enough with them. We tried to fix it with something that we call the task runners. Over there, we have 2 kind of tools. They were the king in the time. They were Grant.js. They call themselves the JavaScript task runner. And the idea was to provide tasks, and the Grant.js will try to run it synchronously, parallel, whatever the plugin you're using. Gulp.js, they call themselves the streaming build tools, and they bring with it the idea to use pipes in the build tools in the web development. So it was really cool and nice to use pipes in the beginning of time, like do .pipe Babel with the result to pass it to another pipe, and on and on. So it was really cool. If you think that all the issues for the web development were solved in that time because we have all these tools, not quite. Because you have to remember that at the time, we have a lot of non-Node.js projects we still need to support. For example, here, there is a real example that we use in one of my companies. They have a backend for Java and client for like a framework. I don't remember. I think it was React, I don't remember. And the only thing we want to do was to run the grunt.js task. A very simple task for now is like to run npm and that's it. But in the past, what we need to do was to go to the POM XML file, write an XML in the Maven plugin in Java, and start to writing what to write and change this XML, compile, save, compile, and pray that it will work. If you don't know what is Maven, what is Maven plugin, and how to use it with grunt.js or how to use it with npm, good for you, because this is the bad way to do it. We did it in the past, don't do it now. After having all these tasks running, the bundles start to popping around. And the first bundle that we had in the past was something they called Browserified. They will give you and provide you the functionality to use require a module for NPM. So we can start using modules that were published in NPM and can share the functionality and also in Node.js and in development, in web development. So that's really cool. We only need to write once to one library. Another interesting tool here is Rome. That is, I hope I pronounce it properly. They are the creator of Sebastian Mackenzie, is the creator of Babel, and Jamie Kyle, the creator of Yarn and Lerna, are building and creating these tools. And the idea behind the tool is that we're supposed to have only one tool for compiling and linting all our code. SWC is what they call Speedy Web Compiler. It's the exception here in all the bundle because it's the only Rust-based bundle in Node for build tool. Also, the creator of this SWC currently is working in Vercel, the company that creates Next.js if you're using it. So I think we will hear in the near future about this SWC compiler. Parcel, they call themselves the zero configuration bundler, meaning they out of the box it will work without any extra work for you. And Vite, I hope I pronounce it French, because it's French, is French, and it was created and started by a guy called Evan Yu. This is the creator of Vue.js. So it's really highly adapted, and now it's like the new kid on town because everyone wants to use it. Everyone has started to talking. If you go to a blog and community, everyone wants to try it. So again, also it's a really highly adopted bundler. For example, Storybook started to using Vue, of course, like I mentioned. And something interesting in Vite is that it's using in his core rollup.js for his bundle in compiling his code, the code we're providing them. Webpack, I think I don't need too much to expand because it's the king of the web development today. It's the static bundler where you can compile and use plugins and you will get static your code compiled. Rollup.js, like I mentioned, is usually used for libraries, big libraries, to convert it into a small piece of code. The next bundler, maybe we will call it NodeTLV 2022.js, because it's possible that after this lecture, we will find out that in the community there is a new bundler. The future. How do I see it after researching a lot of the bundles and working with them? I see that SWC is really trying to be a standard in the community. In Rust, for example, Next.js 12 is using SWC and Rust in his core for bundling and compiling their code. So it's really heavily used. Deno, the cousin of Node.js, are using also SWC in the compiler. Parcel, they have a beta version currently in the community. They are saying they are 10 times faster than his previous version. Rome, the guys of Rome, they wrote an extensive blog and explaining why they will write and overwrite and rewrite all their tools in Rust. In Dprint, if you didn't hear it, it's trying to be the replacement of Prettier. And this Dprint was created by the guy who created also Parcel. Is Rust the future of JavaScript tooling? I think only the community will decide. For now, I'm hear a lot of Rust and everybody trying to use it, also in the JavaScript community. So I think this will be like, maybe the community will need to decide this is the way we want to go. Thank you.